Welcome students in this session of Physics New Era channel. Today we are going to know about the requirements of good unit, and then later on we are going to know about the supplementary units, and then we are going to define the some few of the supplementary units such as radian and steradian. Let us start with this one. What are the requirements of good unit? Let us start with that. Here it is, requirements of good unit. Requirements of good unit of good unit seems to be considering the unit as a standard. I am going to give the requirements for the units which are good one, or we say ideal one. What are the requirements for that one? Number one, the requirements of good units are: it should be well defined, it should be suitable in size. So let us start with that one. It should be well defined. It should be well defined. Well defined. It should be well defined. Then number two, what is it mean by this is well defined? Means each unit which are we are going to explain as a good unit must be defined. So it should have particular definition. It must have some sort of explanation. So it should be well defined. That is the requirement of the good unit, the first requirement. And then later on, it must be of suitable in size. It should be it should be suitable in size. It should be suitable in size. That means what? Example, if I want to measure the length of this pen and I'm going to measure it in kilometer, how it is possible? Or that may be also expressed in kilometer, but that is 0.001. It is not suitable, we say, size. For that one, the unit, it should be suitable in size. Okay. The next one is, that is, it should be easily reproducible. It should be easily reproducible. That means what? Easily reproduce. That means we are going to again reproduce it so that we can interconvert it, we say in easy term, that it should be easily reproduced. That means if I want to convert that into other unit, it must be again converted into initial unit. That's why it should be easily be reproducible or interconvertible, we say. Now the next point, that means it is, we say, universally acceptable. Means universally that unit should be acceptable. It should be universally accepted. That means we know that universal means it includes all countries, and if it includes all countries means universally all the units, it must be accepted by each and every country in the universe, and that's why it should be universally accepted. And the next one, means that unit should not change as the physical conditions such as temperature, pressure will change. Here it is. Unit should not change with physical condition, with a physical condition, such as temperature, pressure. Means unit should not change. Here it is remain should not change with the physical conditions such as temperature, pressure. Means unit should not change as the temperature changes, pressure changes, the unit will change. That is not happening, and that's why this is one of the ideal conditions to get the requirements of good units. Unit should not change with the physical conditions such as temperature and pressure. And the last one is, now we have the sixth one. It should not. It should not change. It should not change with time. It should not change with time. That is invariable. So let me explain one by one all. It should not change with the time. That means today we are going to measure the length in meter and tomorrow it is kilometer. It is not happening. That means it is invariable. It is not changing with time. Once again, it should be well defined. It should be well defined means each unit which we are going to explain or we are going to write, it should be defined. That means it has certain definition. Next one is it should be suitable in size. That means length. For the length, we are not going to utilize kilometer. We are going to utilize meter. For the very small, we say any substance or something it is, or any object that we are going to measure in millimeter. And very small object, just like a microbes, we are going to measure it is in nanometer, micrometer. Okay, that means it should be suitable in size. It should be easily be reproducible. Means once we are going to measure that in kilometer, that can be converted into meter also, that may be converted into millimeter also. It should be universally accepted, and unit should not change with the physical conditions such as temperature and pressure. As the temperature and pressure changes, unit will never change. It should change. It should not change with the time. That is invariable. Means with the time, unit will not change. And then we are going to explain now the next concept, that is we say unit, but that is additional unit. Okay, that is known as a supplementary unit. So let us explain this one. I will rub this one. Here it is the list of physical quantities. In that one, the fundamental quantity and supplementary quantities. The list along with the units, and we are going to represent it with the symbols. We are going to also express the units in terms of symbols also. Let us write that one by one. Here it is the fundamental quantities before you, which does not depend upon any other quantity to we say express. So here it is the length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and here it is luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. Now one by one I am going to write the unit for each, and with addition to that one we have the supplementary quantity. Here the supplementary quantity is, we say angle, plane angle, and here it is solid angle. So one by one I am going to explain the units. A length, which is measured in meter, and it has a symbol small m. Mass, it is in kilogram, and accordingly I am going to write it in kilogram, small it is. So time is in second, and accordingly is in expressed in small s. So temperature, it is measured in Kelvin. or we are going to represent it with a capital K. This one is the capital K. So electric current, that is ampere, ampere, and it is explained or it is symbolically represented as A. Then amount of substance, which is expressed in mole, but while expressing in symbol, I am going to write that is in MOL. Luminous intensity, which is measured in candela and can be represented with the symbol CD, small cd. Now we have the supplementary angle. Now the supplementary angle, here it is in radian, and it is expressed in RAD, that is radian, and symbolically it is represented by the RAD, and it is steradian. So steradian, which is represented by SR. So these are the symbolical representation of the fundamental quantity along with the supplementary fundamental quantity. Which are those? Plane angle and solid angle. Once again, the length expressed in meter, mass expressed in kilogram, symbolical representation it is shown, time is in second, temperature it is in Kelvin, electric current it is an ampere, and amount of substance is in mole, luminous intensity in candela, plane angle in radian. This is a supplementary fundamental quantity. So that's why it is separately written. This is additional. We say supplementary. Okay. So this one is the physical quantity and units and symbol. Now we know very well the we say units, that is different types of units, fundamental units and derived units. Fundamental units are those units which are not depend upon any other unit to express it, is known as a fundamental units, and we know the better examples for that one. The fundamental quantities are symbolically already we are represented. So accordingly the meter means length, mass, time, temperature, these are the quantities, and related to that one we have the kilogram, length, okay, electric current, that is ampere, these are the units. Related to that one we say that supplementary, additional unit, or we say in addition to the fundamental quantities we have the units are known as a supplementary units. So examples of the supplementary units are, number one, that is a radian. I'm going to express this as a radian. Radian, symbolically RAD. So how to represent that, or how to define this radian? The examples of the supplementary units. Additional unit. The additional units of fundamental means a supplementary. In addition to the fundamental units, we have the additional unit known as a supplementary units. Examples are a radian, comma, steradian. So one by one I am going to define. The first that I am going to define is a radian. So how to define? So this is the unit. So we are not going to express in this way. We are going to define this as a radian. So how to define this radian? Symbolically it can be represented with a RAD. So let us define that one. Before that one, I will have to explain the circle. This one is the circle. This one is the radius. And this one is one sort of angle, that is theta. But this angle I need to explain, and this angle is nothing but a radian angle. But before that one, it is angle subtended. This is an angle. I'm going to write that. I am going to define and explain then later on. Angle subtended. Word is this one, subtended. Standard word. You'll have to remember this word. Angle subtended by an arc. An arc of circle. Angle subtended by an arc of a circle. Arc of a circle, single circle of a circle whose length is equal to radius. Equal to radius of circle. So angle subtended. This one is the angle subtended by an arc. This one is the arc. The darker one is the arc. Means this is your arc, forming a one sort of arc. This one is the arc. Here I am going to make it dark. This one is the arc of a circle, and approximately this is a straight line. Seems to be considered that if this arc length, this one is the arc length. If this arc length is equal to the radius of circle, that time if L is the length of the arc, then L is equal to R. That time this angle theta is equal to 1 radian. This one is expressed just like this, 1 radian. But here the part of that one seems to be considering the total angle starting from the 0. That is, if it is 0, this is 90, this is 180, this is 270, again here it is 360. So seems to be considering that one, if the radian, it can be expressed as a 180, or pi radian is equal to 180 degree. Pi radian is equal to 180 degree. How much it is? 180 degree. Pi radian is equal to 180 degree. So 1 radian is equal to 180 degree upon pi. 180 degree upon pi. This one is your 1 radian. This is the representation and this is the definition. This one is the angle which is equal to 1 radian only when it is 1 radian, when the conditional arc length is equal to radius, then and then only it is, this angle is 1 radian. Now we are going to explain steradian. Now we have the next supplementary unit, that is the steradian, denoted by the symbol SR. Now we have the diagram. Here, angle subtended at the center of the sphere to form an area at the surface, which is formed at the area at the surface, and this area is equal to the square of the radius. Let us write that one. It is angle subtended by a cone at the center of sphere to form area at the surface, form an area at the surface, which is equal to square of the radius of sphere. That means here it is the conclusion before you. Whatever may be the area which is formed here, let us consider this area is A. So area is equal to square of the radius. What about the steradian formula in terms of degree? 1 steradian is equal to 180 degree upon pi whole square. This is about 1 steradian, and already we have written 1 radian 1 radian is equal to 180 degree upon pi. These two formulae we'll have to remember. This is the conversion factor, or one more we are going to say that pi radian is equal to 180 degree. One more is there. These are the different formulae, and these are the supplementary units, that is radian and steradian. It is the angle subtended by a cone at the center of the sphere to form area at the surface. To form an area at the surface, which is equal to square of the radius of the sphere. This is the criteria. We'll have to remember. Then and then only it is said to be 1 steradian, and it has a formula 180 degree upon pi whole square. Thank you.